Gentlemen, we are back once again. I told you I was going to bring my boy back. We got Bailey D. He's dancing, he's pointing, he's making everything happen. We got free agency football. Bailey, how are you, my guy?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing great. Doing good. How are you doing today?
Hey, man, it is Monday. It is the first free agency Monday. We got a lot of things going on. I'm glad, I'm thankful, and grateful that you have joined me on this Monday. Let's get right into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it. Let's get into it. Let's get
All
into
right.
it.
Hey, man. So, first off, a lot of people are talking about it. I did predict this in the last video. Russell Wilson going to the Pittsburgh Steelers on a 1 year, $1.2 million contract. Bailey, how do you feel about that?
I mean, no doubt you predicted that a couple with some, along with some others, but that is obviously going to be the bottom bag, kind of the trickle trail. Him and Mike Tomlin, they're going to have to juice some stuff up this year. I feel like they're going to have a couple little trickinesses here and there, but I definitely think that's going to be a good match for him. Obviously, he didn't do too much over for the Bronx, but I have a good feeling that he's going to do a little bit of justice for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I have a feeling that they're gonna do all right. I feel like
They're going to do all right.
that's a good fit for them, especially for the price tag. That is a good fit for them.
That price tag is primo. One thing I can tell you, Mike Tomlin is notorious for making the playoffs every year, having a winning record every year. In my opinion, Russell Wilson is going to come into that organization. He's going to teach. They're going to keep Kenny Pickett. Okay, he's going to teach Kenny Pickett a little bit of how to run a play action offense. Arthur Smith loves to run the ball. Mike Tomlin is going to give the offense over to Arthur Smith. I see that working out. I really do. But another very interesting offseason move that affects our NFC North, Kirk Cousins is going to the Falcons on a 4-year deal. Ailey, let's talk about it, buddy.
Yes, he is. And that was, that was kind of odd to hear, especially when, the Twin Cities themselves, they were trying to come at him with guaranteed, 2-year deals, 4-year deals. They were trying to come at him with a heavy hitter to get him back. And the fact that, he kind of overstepped where Justin Fields wanted to go and was almost trying to guarantee his spot, that he overcame that. I really think that he's going to do a lot there. He knows his way around the league. He knows his way around the field. He knows the playbook. I have a feeling that he is going to dominate down there in Atlanta. I have no doubt about that. He's just got to stay away from them big boys, and he's got to stay off that injury list. Kirk Cousins has been an all-time player. He's been, absolutely great. He has not seen his chance to really, to his full potential, dominate and just go across the league. But I feel like going to Atlanta, he's gonna be mean out the gates. He's gonna be out there to prove something.
It's going to be interesting to watch that duel between Kirk Cousins with Atlanta. Baker Mayfield signed his contract extension with Tampa. It's going to be fun. The NFC North has not been relevant for many years now, other than when Tom Brady was there. It will be fun this coming year. I think 2024 NFL football is going to be the most electric that we've seen in a while with all these offseason moves. The next one I want to spit to you. Oh, yeah. The next one I want to spit to you, Bailey. Saquon Barkley. I thought he was going to go to the Dallas Cowboys. He didn't do that. He did go to another team in the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. Bailey, how do you feel about that?
That's going to be a good transition. I mean, wherever he goes, he's going to be a dominant player, especially since they have let go of so many prominent players on their franchise and their roster that I feel like he's just going to go in there, throw the team on his back, and go balls to the wall. I mean, him and Jalen, they're going to be, moving the legs all freaking day. They're a great passing team. They're great to get down the field, but I feel like we're going to see a lot of rushing this year. I have a feeling that they are going to be absolutely dominant together, and you don't know which way it's going to go. You don't know how they're going to get down the field, but Saquon, he is going to be making a number for himself. He's going to be putting up them yards this year. I know that for sure. He has been coming out the gates every year, everywhere he's at, and he just, he goes hard. He's one player that's got all heart.
He does have all heart, and Philadelphia did release their running back. We will get into that soon, everyone. Before we continue on with this video, guys, do me a favor. If you like the content that we bring you, if you like this NFL content with a little bit of humor twist to it, subscribe to the channel, comment on this video, like it, do all of that fun stuff. Bailey D is going to tell you that every time he's on because he just knows. Bailey knows. But Bailey, what do you have for me? I want to know what free agency moves that have happened today do you want to bring to me?
Christian Wilkinson going to the Raiders. Let me ask you, how do you feel about that?
Christian Wilkinson is by far one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the league. He was on a star-studded defense for the Miami Dolphins. Miami ran into a little bit of cap issues. They can't keep everybody on that defensive line, so they send him out. They send Christian Wilkinson, and he goes to the Raiders. And what that's going to do is that is going to really solidify that defensive line, because as we all know, we got the beast Max Crosby coming off the edge. You put Christian Wilkinson inside of that line, he's going to tie up double teams. That's going to release Max Crosby to come
locking down that inside run. No doubt about that. If you're not breaking out of the edge with Mad Max, I mean, he is definitely going to shut it down on them inside plays. That is going to be absolutely wild to watch.
And if we look at this from a divisional standpoint, we obviously have the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are two-time repeating Super Bowl champs. But we have my Chargers with Jim Harbaugh. They're going to be making moves. We got the Las Vegas Raiders. They're making moves. It is going to be interesting. Bailey, I know you got more coming out.
Another one I was kind of excited to bring up. I wanted to see how you felt about Josh Jacobs going to Green Bay. I'm not a Green Bay fan at all. Don't get me wrong or anything at all. But I was kind of looking forward to this. I wanted to see where he would go. How do you think he is going, and what do you think he's going to provide for the Packers?
Well, first of all, I remember last year, this time last March, a buddy of mine said, "Oh yeah, Josh Jacobs, he's coming to Detroit. Yeah, he signed a deal." I'm like, "No, man, it didn't happen. Fast forward a year, 365 days to now, and he is coming to the NFC North, but he's coming as a Packer, and it terrifies me. It really terrifies me, because we will be facing these Green Bay Packers twice a year. Aaron Jones was a dominant back for them, but he only turned it on the last third of the year, to where I think Josh Jacobs will come in there and he will dominate, and he will run for 100 yards. He will block. He will be a very dominant back.
He's going to give them that motivation early season to not, just catch up halfway through the season, majority way through the season. They're going to come out the gates and they are going to be hungry. But Lions, it's baby, scary. We're always more hungry. All grit, all day. What other running back movement do you want to talk about here? I know you were interested in this one, and I know you had a fair pick for this one. Let me hear about Tony Pollard going to Tennessee.
Now, okay, Tony Pollard, great running back out of Dallas. He was there with Dallas for a while. He was part of that organization that was great every regular season, but couldn't quite get past that hump.
Yeah.
He's going to Tennessee. Tennessee, as we all know, just released Derrick Henry. Who knows where Derrick Henry's going? But Tony Pollard, I think, leaving Dallas opens up a hole where I originally thought that Saquon Barkley would come into Dallas. He's staying in the NFC East, but he's going to the Eagles. So what is Dallas going to do this year? Do they draft a running back? Do they look for someone in free agency? It's going to be interesting. I still am standing firm with the Washington Commanders going to take that division next year. I'm sorry. I see it happening. Sue me.
It just gives me a little bit of fear, as we talked about before. People getting sent over to Tennessee is almost a graveyard pick. I mean, you can send impactful, dominant players over there. Just the whole team, the franchise, they just do not know how to plug and play, and they do not know how to get there. I mean, they could have absolutely showcase players. They could absolutely have anything. But for some reason, they just cannot make that step to get to the next step. Even when bringing these, high paid, high name, high ranked players in, it's just, it's almost like sending them to the graveyard, dude. I mean, I don't know. Their name's still going to be there. It's just they're not going to be valued, and they're not going to be able to get to their full potential and be where they need to be. Like, and I have questionable thoughts about that one.
I do too, but I have questions about Tennessee in general. Like, okay,
yeah.
You get rid of Ryan Tannehill. You got Will Levis. You have you get rid of Mike Vrabel, no longer the head coach. There's no continuity within that team. The defense has been mediocre all the way through the season this past year. The offense has not put anything up. I'm not a fan of Tennessee. I don't see them doing anything big. I don't think Tony Pollard will make a splash there. I hope so. I like Tony Pollard, but let's move on. Bailey, I know there's another running back in the market that you want to bring to my attention who had just moved.
DeAndre?
Oh, you want to talk about DeAndre Swift?
I really want to talk about DeAndre. Oh man, I've loved this guy for a long time. Absolute dog on the field. After that, I got one more for you, but just let me hear about DeAndre for a second. I got some few choice words that I would like to say, but I just would like you to spit it out.
DeAndre Swift, originally with the Detroit Lions, had a great year.
Yeah.
Detroit released him over to Philadelphia. They drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, made a great move there. Now, DeAndre Swift is coming back to the NFC North. He's going to be a Chicago Bear, and it is scary because I am a Lions fan, as you are too, Bailey D. DeAndre Swift is part of that Ben Johnson offense and that Dan Campbell coaching tree. He knows, so maybe he's going to bring a little bit of knowledge to the Chicago Bears. Maybe he's going to help them out. I do think the Chicago Bears, and I want to put this on record right now with you, my guy Bailey D, on the Blake Chaos channel. Chicago is that Detroit Lions team from 2 years ago when we started 1-7 and finished the year 9-1 or whatever it was, but still missed the playoffs. The Chicago Bears finished winning 6 of their last 7 games last year, and it appears they're only getting better. So I want to put that out there. I do like this trade. I'm happy for DeAndre Swift coming back to the NFC North. I think the NFC North is a predominant structure in the NFL right now. But someone who is leaving the NFC North, Bailey, and it breaks my heart, but I'm happy for him because he's catching a bag. Jonah Jackson, our beast offensive lineman, going over to the West to the Los Angeles Rams to play for Sean McVay. I'm happy for him catching a bag, but it hurts my heart, Bailey. How do you feel about it?
It hurts my heart, but there needs to be progression. He had it, all coming to Detroit. He put out an absolute amazing season. He had absolute outstanding numbers. That was just, one thing we kind of had to open up, and we'll just see where it goes. And like I said, it breaks our hearts, but that just opens us up for new opportunity to be able to build. And that's one thing that we do kind of struggle on, is just breaking through that line and just having people get back. We need to be able to, fill the spot. We got to find somebody that's going to be, just as good or just like Jonah Jackson, because he's a dog. He's an absolute dog, and we were absolutely grateful to have him on our team and to be able to, share the experience and just see what he was about. Oh man, that just really hurts the heart having to let him go, but it gets me very excited to see where it's going to take us. I mean, he's obviously going to be probably, one of the better ones filling that position and going off and, doing, it's all respectable. He's going to, somewhere he's making, the pay. He's making absolutely everything he needs to. I just wish it was with Detroit, but that's just not kind of, in our cards right now.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably one of the most interesting off seasons that we have had in the past, I'd say, decade. We're going to continue to follow it. We're going to continue to bring you guys the breaking news content that you want to see. It's only day one. We got a lot coming up, guys. Bailey, tell them what they want to hear. I want to hear it, buddy.
If you have not liked, commented, followed, subscribed, if you have not interacted in any sort of way, you need to right now. Drop us a comment below what you want to hear, what you like, what you don't. Whether you like it, you love it, you don't, you hate it. You're here watching right now. Might as well drop something. Let us know how you feel, y'all.
Bailey D, we will see you for the next one, my guy. Much appreciated. Love you.
We'll see you, brother. Love, dog.